All right, this is some help for the test review. I'm starting with question 20, and I'm going to work a little backwards. So question 20 says, one wall inside a shoe store is used to display walking shoes and running shoes. There are 133 pairs of shoes in this display. So remember, your total looks like it's 133 shoes. And if you keep reading, it does not look like they give you another total. So 133 pairs of what? If you read the first sentence, it says walking shoes and running shoes. So we're going to call that W plus R. There's a total of some walking and some running, and it's 133 total. Then remember, the second equation, it's either going to tell you something about the W or it's going to tell you something about the R. So if you keep reading, it says there are 2.5 times as many pairs of walking shoes as there are running shoes on display. So in this case, you have to think, well, which pair of shoes is there more of? Is there more walking or is there more running? It says there are 2.5 times as many pairs of walking shoes. So that means there's more walking shoes, so it's going to be a W equals, because there's more of these. How many more? Well, it tells you 2.5 times the running shoes. So times R. There are 2.5 times as many pairs of walking shoes as there are running shoes. So these will be your two equations. However, the question says how many pairs of walking shoes and running shoes are on display. So if you know automatically that there are more walking shoes, look at answers E, F, G, and H. E says there are 100 pairs of walking shoes. F says there are 38 pairs of walking. G says there's 33 pairs of walking shoes, and H says there are 95 pairs of walking shoes. Remember, there's supposed to be more walking shoes than running shoes. So if you look at letter F, you can cancel that one out because that one says there's 95 running. Remember, there's supposed to be more walking than there is running, so it can't be F. Also with G, it says there's 100 pairs of running, so it can't be G because it says there's supposed to be 2.5 as many pairs of walking shoes than running. So the only possible answers could be 100 with 33 pairs of running, or 38 pairs of running here. So it's either going to be this one or this one. So you might want to do a little calculation at this point. If I take 2.5 times 33, is that going to give me 100? Or if I do 38 times, well, 2.5 times 38, is that going to give me 95? And it looks like this is our answer, because 2.5 times the R is what is going to equal the 95. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and continue with problem 19 now. It says the freshman class needs a combined total of 216 medium and large t-shirts for field day. So the first thing we always look for is a total. So total, I see 216 shirts. If you keep reading, it says the number of medium t-shirts needed is 3 times the number of large t-shirts. It is not giving us another total, which means the other one is either going to be, it's going to tell you exactly what one of the variables equals. So what type of shirts? Read it again. The freshman class needs a combined total of 216 medium and large shirts for field day. So we know some are medium, some are large, and the total is 216. Then it says the number of medium t-shirts needed is, that's the clue. It told you something about the medium number. It says the number is 3 times the number of large t-shirts. So that will be 3 times L. Those are your two equations. However, the problem is actually asking, based on this information, would it be reasonable for the freshman class to order? So it's a question. Should they order 162 large shirts and 54 medium? Think about that. This is the question. Should they order this many large and this many medium? Think about the problem. It says that the medium shirts are equal to 3 times as many large shirts. So that means there's supposed to be more medium. So do you think they should order more large? No. The problem said that they should be ordering more medium. So automatically the answer should be no. So A says yes. Nope, can't be the answer. B says yes. Nope, can't be the answer. It's either going to be C or D, but there is a reason. So C says no because the number of medium shirts is not 3 times the number of large. That means we need to do the calculation. Oh, no, we don't. Hold on. Because the number of large t-shirts is not 3 times the number of medium. So it looks like for this one the answer is going to be C, because the number of medium shirts is not 3 times the number of large. So yes, the answer would be C on that one. And you would definitely need to make sure you have that review sheet so you can see the wording for that one. Number 18, you should be happy. Number 18 is not a word problem. It says if y equals 10, it's telling you y equals 10. What would be the value of x in this system? So it gives you a system and you should be very happy because it's already given you one of the pieces of the solution. It's telling you the solution, they've already given you this piece. So you're going to take this y equals and you can plug it into either equation, whichever one that you think is the easiest. I'm going to plug it into this one. Make sure you plug it into the correct spot. It is a y equals, so I'm going to plug it into the y spot with parentheses. So instead of y, I plug in a 10. Now I have to do some solving. This is solving a 2-step equation. This should be the easy part. Minus 10 on both sides. There's nothing to multiply because there's no number right here by the parentheses. So bring down the 2x equals bring down 20 plus negative 10 is 10. Divide by 2, I'm getting x equals 5. If you really want to double check that answer, I would definitely say, well, I'm going to plug it into this one too and see if I get the same thing. Remember, it was a y equals, so I'm going to plug it into the y spot and do my math, do my algebra, and see if it works. So be careful because right here, yes, you got to do some multiplying because the 2 is directly next to the parentheses. So bring down x minus 20 equals negative 15. And then to get x by itself, you're going to do the opposite of minus 20, which is add 20 to both sides. That makes a 0 pair. X equals negative 15 plus 20 equals 5. So definitely x does equal 5. And the question was, what would the x value be? They already gave you one piece. You had to find the other. Moving on to number 17. You can pause the video if you want to, or you can keep watching. Number 17, it says, which situation is best represented by this system below? Notice both of these are in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. Remember what the variable, this x variable, that means this represents our slope, and this represents the slope here. So for each problem, it should be saying something about -5 per week, or per day, or per hour. And this one should be saying something about the +5 per hour. And this 80 right here, 80 is the starting point, what the problem or what the person started with. And what's happening to the 80 each time is it's being subtracted by 5 per week or per time. Same thing with 70. 70 is what the problem started with, or you can also say, what did it begin with? If we begin with 70 something, what's happening in this problem is we're adding 5 per week or per hour or per whatever time it's using. So please try to use that to help you figure out your answer on that one. It looks like the answer is going to be C, because it says Dane has 80 in his checking account. That means he started with 80 and he is withdrawing $5 each week. Then it says his brother has $70. That's what his brother started with. And his brother is depositing $5 each week. Deposit means you are adding money. Withdraw means you are subtracting money. That's another word problem. You have to match the word problem with the two equations, the system of equations. And number 16, it gives you two equations and it wants you to graph them. However, notice one of the equations is not ready to be graphed because it's not in slope-intercept form. This one is ready to graph. I got my slope and my y-intercept. However, this one, that y is not by itself, so you need to divide everything by exactly what's with the y. That will become y equals negative 3x plus 11. Now it's ready to be graphed, and you would have to graph that on the graph piece of paper. This is the y-intercept. From -1 on the y-axis, you will move up 3 over 1. Make a point. Up 3 over 1. Make a point. Up 3 to the right 1. Up 3 to the right 1. On this one right here, you would start at positive 11. However, you would have to now move down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. This one needs to be down 3, but you're still moving to the right 1. So please try to use that and take that into consideration, that this is down 3 to the right 1. This one is up 3 to the right 1. Number 15, we did a problem exactly like that the other day. Make sure you're using the slope to go with it. I believe that answer is the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the closest answer I think number 15 is going to be, even though that's not the exact point. Number 14 should be easy because there was already a zero pair. I will do that one with you just so there's no confusion. Number 14 is a system of equations, and there's no need to multiply anything because there is already a zero pair available for you to cancel out. So this is my zero pair, it cancels out. I'm going to combine these. Negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4y, and this is 8 plus negative 24. Double check in your calculator. Always with these adding negative numbers, negative 16. Divide both sides by negative 4. Y equals 16 divided by 4 is 4. Be careful on your test because there's a problem and it looks like it's so easy to solve for y. However, your question asks you to find the x term, or the value of x, okay? So please, now we're going to take this y equals and we're going to plug it back into whichever one we think is the easiest. Right now, I'm thinking this one looks easier to me, so I'm going to plug the y in the y spot of this one. Whenever you plug it in, you need to plug it in with parentheses. If you need to pause the video, you can do so. However, now I'm taking the y value, which is 4, and I'm plugging it in here so I can start solving. Yes, I need to now multiply this because they're right next to each other, so that's 4x minus 40 equals 8, because negative 10 times 4, negative 40. Then I'm adding 40 over here to make a zero pair, bring down my 4x equals 48. I know I'm moving a little fast, but this should be the easy part. The two-step should definitely be the easy part. Then I'm going to divide both things by 4 and get x equals 12. Remember how I was showing you to triple check your problems? Is to now take the other one and plug the x in the x spot and plug the y that we now have, well, we have the x and the y now. Plug both of those in and see if it's going to equal negative 24. So x, I'm going to plug in a 12, and y, I'm going to plug in a 4. And if I do this math, you can use a calculator, or really you can use your phone calculator for that one. Negative 4 times 12 is negative 48 plus 24. You can put that in the calculator, and yes, it looks like that is true. So my solution is the x comma y, and that's number 14. And I think that might be about it for that test review. If you have any other questions, you can comment or you can text me back on Remind. Thank you.